to my learning center on grade 1, and for the first activity, my assignment is understand and apply properties of operations and the relationship between addition and subtraction. And this activity is meant for students to practice their addition skills. And the student will use numbers 1 through 20, and my manipulator would be colored index cards. And they would be practicing the cumulative property of addition and the associative property of addition. For the associative property of addition, I'm going to be using popsicle sticks, and they're going to be in a jar, and the student will have the option to select 5 popsicle sticks. And they're going to have an activity sheet with boxes, so they could write down the problems and they need the space for it. And for example, the student will add 1 and 5, and then they would have to be able to recognize that 5 plus 1 is the same problem. And for this activity, they'll also be using M&Ms sort of to guide them count. And for the second activity, the student will add and subtract from the numbers 1 to 20. And for this activity, the manipulator is little green foam blocks. And the student will be, for example, the student will start off with 5 green blocks, and then the student would add 2, and then that would total 8, and then they're gonna squeeze a subtraction problem in there, so they could at the end of the problem they could have a different number, and then they would be adding the number they subtracted to see if they ended with the original answer. And then for activity 3, the standards work with addition and subtraction equations, and for this activity, the manipulator would be little wood blocks, and then they would select 5 green blocks, and for this one, they could also use the activity sheet, so it could help them guide themselves with the problem. And for this one, the student is supposed to determine if the equation is true or false. So, like this one, 15 minus 2 is 13. That would be true, and this activity would also require a sheet. And for activity 4, the standard is write and solve number sentences from problem situations that express relationships involving addition and subtraction within 1 to 20. And for this one, it's kind of, all these standards I have are from the operations and algebraic thinking. So in this one, you can see the algebra more because there's like a number missing, and they would have to find out what number is missing. And with that, and the 5th activity is understanding place value. And for this activity, the manipulator would be these little green stickies, pink stickies, and they would select 5, and then they would have the manipulative rods and the manipulative singles to try to define what place value they're in. And then all these activities are meant for them to like practice their addition skills and subtraction skills and reinforce their place value skill. And most of these activities would be done in a period of 15 minutes. And for this activity, the place value one, I would want a helper just because some students may have trouble understanding place value. And within that activity, the students will also have time to discuss with a partner. For this one does require a partner, and so does this one. Because I don't want the students to get lost along the way if they have trouble finding what number it is. And then in that period of time, they would also discuss with each other the answers, because I want them to understand the answer. And if they don't understand it, they could talk to their partner, or they could come ask me or the helper. And that's it.